Okay, alrighty. Hello guys, hello everyone. Welcome again to our show, the Football Fan Zone. On this show, if you're just gonna be watching us for the first time, we talk things football, European football, the Premier League, and then a bit of the Champions League as well. And for this episode, the focus will be majorly on the Champions League with a sprinkling of Arsenal season just gone by in the Premier League. We have two top gunners joining on the show today. So there's going to be a lot of Mikel Arteta, is it the board, Andrea Beta, what's happening, Benjamin Sesko versus Jokeres. Who do you prefer? So we're going to be getting into all of that. Yeah, but as usual, we have to quickly do the introductions. Let me start with the guest joining us today after a long hiatus. We're happy to have you back. Mr. Salone Dev is joining us. How you doing, boss? Nice to have you back.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me, man. And I'm so happy that you guys are growing. Bit by bit, you guys are growing, and most of all, you guys have been consistent in producing top quality analysis, and then giving good, objective views in what's going on in the world of football. So yeah, definitely always a pleasure to be here and kind of listen and share my thoughts as well.
Yeah, that's nice. We're
Appreciate that.
happy to have you as usual.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let me go to his fellow Gunnar in the house. Chooks
The
is a regular with
residential,
us.
the residential Guna.
Yeah, residential Gunnar. That's the phrase. he has been a whole for a
He has
few
been
weeks.
missing. He has been missing,
We
but
don't know why. What
nah,
happened? So
credit to
Chooks.
him though. He's not. He didn't totally go away. I mean, he's been here and
I'm
there,
here. I'm
but
here. I've just been moving.
yeah,
For those of us down here, Pius, it was graduation season. So
Ah,
literally every weekend we had something. I wasn't home,
Oh.
but not like I had anything nice to say about my club. So
So
it
it was a convenient.
was
I
it was,
like that.
it was a very convenient time away.
Yeah.
But no, I'm always you won't find a missing poster for me at all times. Adams knows my location. He's the only one allowed to have it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And finally, the big man himself, the boss, the Adams. The Adams. I can see you're rocking a
yeah.
jersey that is not Chelsea. Can you explain
We're
yourself?
repping, man. Look, you gotta rep the winning team, man. You gotta
What
rep
are
the
you
winning
doing?
team.
You're repping the winning team.
Especially what they did yesterday. Incredible. And
Incredibly.
yeah, it was, bro. Nobody saw that coming. I don't care who you are. You,
yeah,
you didn't see
exactly.
that coming.
Yeah,
You
just
didn't see
that.
that coming.
Yeah, the margin of victory was crazy. Okay, right. So let's jump into it. Right now, in my mind, I'm like, where do we start? Where do we start? Where do we start? Okay, I think let's start with Arsenal. Let's start with Arsenal before we sort of dissect the Champions League final and PSG and Inter. Let's start with Arsenal. And like I mentioned before we started recording, Salon Dev. I'm very keen to hear your thoughts on the season gone by for Arsenal. Your thoughts on where it went wrong in terms of Arsenal not being able to sort of get over the line in the two major competitions that they were contending in. That's the Premier League and the Champions League. And if you have anything to say, I also want to get your thoughts on Mikel Arteta as well. What are your thoughts on him? Is he the man to lead Arsenal to glory, or should the board or whoever is in charge of making decisions at Arsenal start looking elsewhere? So let me start with that first.
Yeah. So our season, has been a disaster. It's a failure, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So our season is a bad failure, and the reason why I say that, I think Mikel Arteta took a gamble and failed, right?
Oof.
Yeah, because at the start of the season, it was clear that Manchester City were going to be the opponent. They're going to be the guys to beat, right? And someone said it earlier, like Ateta kind of realized that he can't win the Premier League, playing expansive football because he's done it twice, and towards the end we lost gas, right? So people were fatigued, people got injured. So he took a gamble of, okay, I'm gonna go super conservative, and then eventually grind it out, and then hopefully by the end of the season, like remember the previous season, we went to Dubai, we came back, we're on fire. And in my head, I think that was the approach was going to be, because when you look at how we started the season, we were very conservative in the sense that we kind of like kept the ball sideways, backward, sideways, as opposed to a couple of seasons where we played in opponent's half, we put you under pressure, and then eventually capitulated. But he took the kind of cautious approach and said how things go. But unfortunately, right, Liverpool became the team to beat. And Ateta was so focused in beating Man City that he didn't see Liverpool coming. And then again, came January, it was clear that Liverpool were the team to beat now, right? And even the universe was talking to Mikel Arteta saying that, look, Liverpool are going to be the team to beat. Your two strikers are gone for the season, right? This is an opportunity for you to like reshift your focus. I felt like, okay, focus on Liverpool because they are the person you have to beat and then, explode. But for some reason, he gambled that, his cautious approach was going to get us over the line. And it failed woefully because, like, we're playing games, we're progressing, but you can see that it was more out of too much effort to get the most simplistic things done because the whole false nine and no clear attacker to get things going. Even the Champions League to me was an example of chance favors the prepared mind, right? We were not prepared. That Real Madrid game for me, my point of view, it was like chance giving us the opportunity, like, hey, okay, here's a chance, right? Are you prepared to take it? We beat Real Madrid, but when it actually came for us to show like we have the tools to really go through, we were found wanting because we did not have the attacking powers to really challenge PSG. And then we were ourselves. So to me, he took a gamble where you can understand, you've done things once or twice. You know what? Let me change my approach. That approach did not work out, and he just left with an egg on his face. So for me, it was a total disaster and a failure for us this season.
Okay, okay. Right. Before, I'm going to come to Chuk shortly, but
Mhm.
I need Salon Dev. I need a one-word answer from you. Why I'm asking this is because you said at the start that the season has been a disaster from your point of view. That's
Mhm.
for Arsenal this season.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. I just need a one-word answer from you, yes or no.
Yeah.
Has Spurs had a better season than you, Arsenal?
No.
Eh?
No. No.
No. Okay. 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 That's fair. Okay. Chooks, let me get your view. I don't know if you sort of you're following my question in terms of the questions I asked
Could
Salon
you,
Devin.
could you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so it's just in general. So my question is, now that the season is over, right? What are your thoughts on how Arsenal season panned out? And then the second part of the question, which I think Salon Dev didn't really touch on, which I will come back to him, is Mikel Arteta, is he still the man to lead for you to lead Arsenal to win especially the big trophies, the Champions League and the Premier League?
I mean, for me, I think everyone will be consistent. Season was a failure. In one of our group chats, they asked us to rank. Everyone was ranking their own season. Almost everyone has a top 16. And for me, it was a 2 out of 10. That
Wow,
two is
wow.
probably just coming from that Man City 5-1 and the Madrid game. But for me, I made some notes. There are three things that annoyed me this season. One is the owners have repeatedly shown their lack of ambition. Getting out of that January window without a signing, I find it hard to believe that the manager would look at, when it's not even his money, will look at the owners in the eye and be like, no, Jesus done his ACL. I think the game before the Dubai game, Havertz had his hand on his knee, just how tired he was. Saka hamstring injury, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to sign anyone. Two, the lack of progression from players like Odegaard and Martinelli. Like some of the football they were playing this season, especially after guys like Saka went down, Havertz went down, was atrocious. Odegaard didn't take any responsibility providing us goals or assists for almost 3 to 4 months. No, you can't win any game of football like that. And then obviously the injuries. We just had too many injuries at critical times. Now, when it comes to who is to blame for at least the player signings or not wanting players, I also have to give the manager too. He has to take blame for that. You will go into a window and the first thing you are signing is a left back and a DM, which is now funny because that same DM turned into a striker that was even scoring more goals than the striker that we even employ. But it's like everybody, even I remember the preseason stuff, everybody here was like, Arsenal knows what they need to sign. But every window we don't. And I think it's down to the lack of ambition of our owners because we do the same thing all the time. We go into we see Liverpool. Quick, you guys don't even spend money, but you've gotten a player. Chelsea, the same thing. The window hasn't even opened. You go get your guys. Us will drag one player out till middle of August, and then the guy won't come. And now that's how we end up with the likes of Sterling. Who knows this year now? We might go take Nicholas Jackson, and he would want to say he's ready to show his
Hey, respect my man, man.
the
Conference
real
league
deal.
winner.
So it's like it's the same thing. And what is more frustrating, right, is I I think what frustrates me more, and I'll be honest, is we bottled the chance to get a double this year. Liverpool had no business winning the league because nobody thought they would, and even when by January, Pius was not confident because for some reason everybody thought deep down that, man, if Arsenal reinforce, they can really chase them down. We went to Madrid and beat them in their own home. I mean, I don't like the whole XG thing, but that second leg against PSG, my goodness, we played some good football, but our finishing atrocious. You can't win anything that way when you are giving the manager almost you are giving him lemons to make orange juice. And for some reason, the reason why I can't even give up on the guy is he's just found the way to bring out something out of a very bad group of people. So in my head, I'm like, I want him to have one season where there's nothing you can use to cover anything. Because I feel like this next season is his last season. You have to win. Spurs literally, I think they fired Ange this morning.
It's not confirmed. It's just some sort of
Or
rumors that is
rumor.
floating that they might sack
Spurs
him. Yeah.
literally finished a 38 game league with 38 points and a trophy. United literally almost go to a final every other year. People clown Chelsea, no problem, but they went to a final. Like, the aim of football is to try and win some kind of, trophy, silverware, or at least get close to the point. Ateta can't keep having these seasons where he's prioritizing. He went to a semi-final against Newcastle and didn't score any goals. He got knocked out of the FA Cup to a 10-man United team. This things happened this season. So he too has to hold some kind of blame. But I'm not at the point where I feel like, we should get rid of him. I feel like the owners need to put managers in a position where the fans or everybody in the fan base can be like, okay, we see what the problem is. But if you allow the man, it's like when people say, "Oh, get us Luis Enrique." Enrique in 2 years has outspent Ateta in 5 years. Of course, you are going to win something. So you think Luis Enrique will come here and you are going to get loan from Chelsea, or you are going to go and bargain with Villa for Watkins? You can't. You see, those guys come in, they give you a list of players. You go get the players. If they don't work out, guess what? You go buy another set of players. I mean, guys like Adams are used to success. That's how I used to see it at Chelsea. You guys don't have all this attachment to scrubs. When you'll be like, bro, someone like Martinelli, he should have been sold after that last game. Somebody like that should just be like, yo, we appreciate all the good things you've done here. Barcelona, 20 million, come and carry this guy. But no, they want to have this attachment to guys. Me, that Chelsea model is soft, man. Carry your bag and be going. Literally, they will go sign somebody else that's going to come and produce. But this season, horrible. The worst part about everything was I remember when the running started. We didn't win any game up until I think the Newcastle game where we drew to Brentford,
Yeah.
we drew to Palace, we lost to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
It was so I don't know if you saw our form. We're almost, I think, we had a relegation form, and then to top up the icing on a disgusting kick, we're one of only three teams to not have a player score double-digit goals this season.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
It is
Wow.
disgusting, and for some reason, the man found a way to finish second. I don't know how to explain it. Like, when I look at everything that happened, How did we finish second? We're one of only three teams with that being Southampton and Ipswich to not have a player. Our highest goal scorer this season was a DM that we managed to shoehorn into 9. I don't get it. And it's just so frustrating because I don't think it's going to change. Our owners are not going to change. They are looking at profits. I saw the difference between what first place, what Liverpool made for winning the league, and what we made for finishing second. And the difference is about 4 million. From a business point of view, you Adams would have taken the guy to Cafe Abuja to eat to eat amala because that's a win. How can the winners of the league and second only thing differentiating them is just 4 million? All the money, I think they said we made so much money that we have what other already will be like we have 200 million to spend and we'll
Yeah.
still be in good financial standing. All that is rubbish, man. So it's clear that to win this league, it has to be very random. But it's like our team has the potential to at least you can get 2 or 3 good years where you just you play good football and you win a couple trophies. But if you're going to leave it up to it being random, like what happened with Liverpool, where maybe one season nobody expects it, you go win it one time, and then you now go back to being cheap and just waiting for your next chance. When you can really like build around players like Saka, build around what Gabriel and Saliba are doing. These guys are not going to be here forever. But each year,
Yeah.
they just find a way to show us why people like Nasri Fabregas left a few years ago. When you don't want to build around these good players. And the last question about who had a better season. To be honest, I want to rephrase this. I think Spurs had a better end to their season. I don't think any Spurs fan will watch what they watched this year for 38 games. But that trophy, I mean, look at it now. Trophy literally just glossed over, and I'm happy he didn't go to United. We need to be judge on this podcast. That's who we need to flog. But yeah, I think Tottenham had a perfect end to the season with that trophy because I mean, see Palace too.
Yeah.
Four parades in London. My club is nowhere to be found.
You guys won the
Oh yeah, man!
UWCL.
Shout out to our
UWCL.
women, man. Yeah, I said it best. They were the only bright spot. I really hope the men were there to watch. Those women play with more hearts than the men. Someone like Odegaard, he needs to sit down and watch those women play.
Okay. Salon Devil. Still on the, let me come back to you because we're still on the Arsenal chat. Just quickly. So looking forward now, right? I think I don't know, but I'm guessing that you're in sort of agreement that you give Arteta. I saw you nodding along to Chuk, so you're going to give Arteta one more season at least.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with the right tools and at least so that the board can give him orange, so they can make orange juice from the orange.
No, yeah, and Chuk said it well. That is true. Not some of, most of our problems lies with our owners prioritizing profit over than winning trophies. I do agree. I've always been a fan of Arteta, and my thing was like give him 5 years to like really settle down in the club and do something. So like I think his 5 years is up. So like rightfully so, keep him one more season. But I think this season he needs to be honest with himself and needs to be honest with the owners. Sometimes people accuse him of being a company man. You say yes to anything, and rightfully so. These people are giving him the chance to learn a trade in a big club, so like he kind of like feels indebted to them in a way, right? He's a rookie out of nowhere, and they're trusting him with such a huge project. But they need to support him. The owners need to really break out from that Wenger philosophy because I always say Arsene Wenger is gone from Arsenal, but Arsene Wenger is still at Arsenal because for some reason this idea of let's spend cheap, and then we'll succeed. It's still in Arsenal. It's still in Arsenal. You hear fans say, we want this player, but the minute you call the money they need to spend, oh my goodness, like it's too expensive. Like it's not
They
your
act like
money.
it's coming out from their own pocket.
Exactly. So they need to spend, and when I
So
say
this
spend and then get to
this
going.
transfer window, you want to see 200 million.
But everybody's been saying it's going to be a big window for you. I
Yeah.
think you guys are just. I think that's just you're just putting pressure on yourselves. because
Exactly. They been saying
Ateta
that
has
since
said
he
it.
moved to the Emirates.
They've been
He's
saying
going to
that
do
every
this
single
every
window,
year,
every single
Uh,
window.
and based on the discourse online and of course over the course of the show this season is Arsenal needs to sign a striker. There's always been that striker talk. He has to be a bagsman in
Yes.
quotes. Okay, so and like the two hottest properties in Europe now are Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyökeres. Adams, I'm going to get your view on your choice on those two. Let me start with the two Arsenal guys here because it seems like Arsenal, the fan base are sort of split between. You hear people say, "Oh, why are we going for Sheshko?" Because I think the rumor came out that, or not a rumor, like Romano was speculating that Arsenal are sort of started opening talks to get Sheshko, and there's a part of the fan base that say, "No, Gyökeres is the one that the club should be going for. He scored more goals, he's more experienced. Nobody wants Sesko, who seems to be a project. I always keep hearing this word. Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, project player. So, guys, Salone, let me start with you first. Who do you sort of prefer?
Man, go for the ready-made thing, man. Go for Jokeris and bring him because Arsenal for the longest period we are always about prospect. And like Chuk said, that's why we get attached to these young players because we've seen them for a long time. Like, oh, and then when they don't deliver, we're like, we can't get rid of them because we're attached to them. This time, I think is if we want to really be considered as a big club, right? Yes, Sesko has the potential, but go for someone with the proving goals. And I would say this, even if we go for him, right, and then it doesn't work out, we should not be discouraged at all. Find someone else again. Get the Chelsea model. Because Arsenal, the minute we spend big money and it doesn't work out,
Yeah,
everyone's like,
the, the way
yeah,
you him there. PSG spent 95 million
exactly.
on Colomani. You work out, they shipped him back to Italy. Like it's
Yeah,
not is you are not forced to just keep the player.
yeah,
Yeah.
so me, Jokeres, is ready made, get him going, and then and the reason why I'm really happy about Jokeres because I like Kai Havertz. I don't love him, but I don't think he's the man to lead our attack. Right?
I love him for you.
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
Chelsea fans,
He's,
they love you for it.
gives his heart out, but we need someone in that place to just score goals. Just score goals. That's the thing.
Hmm. Okay, so Chuk, so what's your preference? Or
Me
you just anybody? Just
go and sign so at this point the bar is inside hell. But but to be honest, if I can be honest with you, some of them I don't even care who we bring. You need to go get some backup wingers. We need another Leandro Trossard for that for both sides. Someone that can come in and play that role that Trossard plays, that he can play across the front three. We need someone else other than Martinelli on that left side. Or yeah, he plays on the left.
Yeah.
So if you go get a Sesko, you need to go get Semenyo, Nico Williams. I don't care. Somebody on the other side. Now you have Saka. You have a proper left winger. You can even put Chris Wood in the middle because what good are you going to go get a top nine if if you don't have service, right? Let's say Saka goes down now. What happens? It will be the same thing of where I already know what narratives are going to be. Nines. I mean, we saw it with Haaland this year. Once you can't get service to that nine, you don't have any proper wingers. Is you are going to be stuck with something evil, and especially teams like us, we're going to be like Liverpool. You will find every reason to love that striker, even, even when the striker is not performing. You
I'm
will
telling you,
you
you
will
just
find
be show him love. He's
Work
not be seeing fan
rates.
base. Yeah, exactly, work rate.
You'll
You'll
be
be
pulling
hanging on to work
stats.
rate.
You will
bro
say he's
like
pressing.
and
He's
wait,
pressing.
It's
bro,
pressing.
Adams Salon, Pius. I don't know if you've been
Now
on
we've been
Twitter.
through that too. We've been through that all of our
You guys
strikers.
have been on Twitter. Arsenal fan base on Twitter is the only fan base I've seen scouting a striker, and none of the scouting involves goals. They're talking about how tall he is, how good he can press, how
Yeah,
involved he is in build up.
yeah.
Man, I never saw Drogba pressing. All I saw was when
Eh,
that ball got on his leg. Um,
Goal.
Go,
when he was
go.
1-1. That's what I want to look for. So at this point, I I do not care who comes in. I just need us to support that forward line. We've not signed. I don't think we've signed a forward player since Trossard 2023.
Yeah.
We brought in Havertz as a
Wow.
midfielder. That's what he was. That was his what he was brought in as. We've not signed a forward player. Then we took Sterling on loan, which did not pan out.
Man,
But it's
can you guys keep him for
Nah,
one more season?
that was a
and
disaster.
you can see how the people enjoyed with Sancho. That's what we're hoping we'll enjoy. But no, we need. But it's not as simple as a 9 because I know this club. They will go and get that 9, and that's work has finished.
Mm.
Let's it's okay. I will give people the 9. It's more, which is why for one me, I'm not hoping for this win because I know my club and I know what they're capable of doing. You're asking me Gyökeres or Sesko. You should be asking me Mbuemo or Oli Watkins because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think you guess either one of Sesko or Gyökeres. But
Yeah.
my problem is
Mm.
if you get that striker, he's coming in as the person that's going to deliver us now. That's what we are going to expect from him. I don't know about you.
That's what everybody's going to expect.
Everybody's going to be like,
The
yes,
striker
he's
should
supposed
know
to win
that
you the
The
league.
pressure is going to be on him. Yeah.
Yeah. The-
and the health of the fan base is 10%. We need charger. Whichever striker that's coming in, you need a preseason goal in the first 2 seconds. Like you cannot even you can't do all that. Oh, let's give him time. Which is why I think a lot of people want the Gyökeres signing. But even with Sesko, anybody that comes in, you need to have immediate impact. We're not doing the whole let's give him time to settle down. Premiership back in the days, strikers didn't speak English and they were coming and they were scoring goals.
Yeah.
You don't need time to give you English teacher or I need a goal and a celebration. That's all I want. A striker that's coming in, if you're doing like this, I don't care. I need you to score. Let me stand up in my couch and also do this too. It's no time to say, oh yeah, we need to give him love or allow him to adapt. Nobody wants to hear all that. So the pressure is going to be there. But that's where the owners just annoy me. Like the Rodrigo links. The first thing we're talking about was they didn't want to pay him over like 200 or whatever. I'm like, guy, go and get a football player, man. Man City will go and buy the same player, and everybody will be like, they buy everybody. Just go and get the guy. At this point, that's just where I'm at. Just I want to see who we sign. But knowing this club, I can guarantee you, Pius, we are going to this window will be longer than a Big Brother season. Because we're going to drag out.
Yeah.
We'll start from we're linked to concrete discussions,
Yeah.
betting to checking the temperature,
Monitoring,
Mental.
monitoring spirits,
No,
everything.
no.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. Like so, I think Arsenal is one to sort of watch out for this transfer window. A lot of interesting things.
yeah, I should
Like
just leave the rest
yeah,
for us. So don't buy all the players. So
yeah. So,
I beg you.
Yes,
so
Leave the rest
yeah,
for us. So leave small for us too.
Chelsea just buy. They just
yeah,
buy.
Adams.
You guys are quite lap, man. Greedy guys.
Chelsea
Yeah,
just,
Adams.
they just
Yeah.
buy.
Guys, let me take this as a cue to bring in the Adams now, and let's bring in some Chelsea discourse as well to the show. Adams, let me start by congratulating Chelsea Football Club.
Bro, about time, man. About time. Where's my old guard of honor? Everybody just started the show. Nobody's clapping. Come on, man.
Congratulations to Chelsea FC on winning
Yes.
the Conference League. I think is it the first English club now, the first club to win
No.
the
West Ham won it 2 seasons
no,
ago.
as in the record of the European sets.
I don't care about that record, man. That doesn't
Okay,
make any
but
sense.
but congrats on that. So, am I right to say, Adams, that you guys had a good end to your season, right? Not
We
like
had a good season.
a good
Full
season
stop.
overall.
Full
Okay,
stop.
no,
Yeah.
not okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
I-
had a good end to the
That
season. but-
causes, man. I told you. You guys.
Yeah. I credit Chooks, man. Chooks stuck with us. But
so,
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I just wanted to drop in this tricky question to you. Let me put you on the spot. So, will you say that Chelsea has had a better season than Arsenal?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think, and the reason why I think so is that Arsenal is in a unique situation, right? If it's just a one-off thing where Arsenal finished second for the first time and Chelsea finished fourth and won Conference League, maybe Arsenal are better. But I can't ignore the history. Going into the season, the expectation from everybody was Arsenal has to win something, right? Arsenal has to win something, and 4 or 5 trophies out for grabs and not to win anyone. I think there has to be an inquest into what's going on there. Like, people have to lose jobs. I'm not saying the coach, but some people have to lose their jobs. Some players have to get sold just based off of what happened to us now this season. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, something. They needed something. And they're just making the job more difficult for them because next season is going to get more difficult. And that's why I'm saying Chelsea, based on, it's not all black and white. It's not, oh, Chelsea finished fourth, Arsenal finished second. If you look at the history, if you look at the story behind it, I feel like Chelsea had a better season just based on the narrative of, okay, we achieved all the expectations this season. And that's now coming from 2 to 3 seasons without winning anything with this same group. To me, that's a failure.
Okay, okay. And then
Yeah,
quick reaction from you on Liam Delap. Like, I think you guys have confirmed. I don't know if it's confirmed from Chelsea, but is it like
It's
it's a
not
done
confirmed
deal?
yet, but it looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Delap is, I think he's a good prospect. Let me borrow your language. Projects, a good project player. But we shouldn't be surprised because this is how these owners have chosen to go, and to them they've gotten relative success in Champions League football and Conference League. So you think they're just gonna stop? They feel like more than ever that their project is going to work, and they would see reason to continue that way. But I like him for so many reasons. Number one is he played in the Premier League with an Ipswich side that was terrible, one of the worst teams in the league. Didn't have any sort of outlet, didn't enjoy chances. I think they are one of the worst chance creators in the league, and he was still able to score. I don't know, was he able to score about 10 Premier League goals, or close to 10 Premier League goals, which is a decent return. You contrast and compare that to someone like Nicholas Jackson that had all the services and still scored around 12. So of course, like he has good prospects, and I like it for the team in terms of like he's somebody that fits into the way the team is currently composed. Like the players there are sort of like his age range, his age group. They can develop together. But the thing there is trust. We need to trust that this is going to work, and then patience, right? Chelsea fans were not used to having patience, and this doesn't seem like we're trying to win the league next season, which is going to be very devastating for many Chelsea fans because they thought some people thought we could have gone for the league this season, and next season they expect to win the league. But if we want to go with what the owners have said, then maybe we just have to wait for these players to develop. And what better way to do it than to bring somebody else within the same sort of age range and prospect of the other players that we have. So those are the upsides to the deal. And the last one is what so far I think we are 3-3 from players that have come from the City Academy. That Joe Shields, who is part of the recruiting team, he worked at City. So there's a model, right? Maresca, former City youth team coach. He's worked with Palmer. He's worked with Lavia. I don't know if he has worked with Tosin, but now they are bringing in another player from that same group that has worked with Maresca, worked with Joe Shields. So it makes sense from that perspective. But if you're talking about going for the league, challenging for honors, maybe not, right? Maybe not. Maybe we need someone like an Osimhen, a Gyökeres, or maybe a Sesko. But from what we've seen from this Chelsea board, I think is the better signing to a lot of the other guys that we've gotten.
Okay. So you're saying that this, from what I get from what you said and from what I understand, it's a long-term project for the owners. So something like let's give these players time to develop. So we're looking at maybe 3-4 years, 5 years time. We'll now start competing for the Premier League. Interesting way to sort of run the football club. Okay. I can only say all the best to Chelsea Football Club and Arsenal Football Club as well in their future
Hey man,
endeavors and
don't let us
future
win.
objectives.
Don't let us win the Champions League before you.
no,
Again,
man.
and don't let us win the league before you.
No, to me,
Whatever you do,
yeah.
whatever you do, just don't let that happen. That's all I'm going to say.
To
And
me,
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just don't let it happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen, man.
Champions
And
League.
you spent 2 billion. Is it us with our small 600 million? We're going to win the league.
No,
I beg, win the league and send me Jesse, man.
This guy. Okay.
To be frank, the Champions League, yes, I know is our golden goose that everybody's looking for. But to me, I want the EPL because the reason, and here's why I want the EPL. The EPL will bring back stability and kind of like free us from like okay.
Yeah, just saying that, man. Once you get that Champions League, I just,
No, to me, it's the EPL because the EPL. So the Champions League is for banter, right? Okay, Chelsea, banter. We haven't won the European Cup. It doesn't concern me because what I want us to do is I don't want us to be like win the Champions League and then we're back to the whole arsenal of like instability and back and forth. Get that EPL because it's the missing piece in our state of mind so that players know that okay, this is what this club is about, and then we'll go from there because say what you want to say. Ateta has done a good job in making us be competitive again, right? And that's a big thing in any race, right? It's just we are faulting towards that, but like we all know in any race, you need to be among the pack of winning people. You need to be there. You need to participate, and then a tweak here, a player here, a luck here, and then you push through. So like so we're always going to be in the mix, and of course it's just the frustration, and sometimes people the banter gets to people, and people are like but yeah, we're in the race, and Liverpool, they had a flash and they did it, but so like,
flash in the pan. Pius, he's saying you guys are not real, man. He said you guys are not really like that, man. It was
no,
just by
true.
chance. That's what he's saying, bro. I would take that if I was you. I'm just saying.
No.
If I was you, I'll tell him I have 20, man. I have 21, right? Tied for all time with Manchester United.
These are things these are the things I've always said. I don't need to, I'm sure he knows. Salon Dev knows. He knows.
They were not expecting that, and to me, it was our failure because, like, even during that January time, there were times where we should catch them, right, and we falter, like 2-3 games when they drew, when it was our chance. Okay, let's take the lead now, and then we falter. So, like,
Salon Dev. Okay, let me. Okay, you're trying to undermine my season. Okay.
No.
Okay. But I understand. I get. But I don't want to, go into any sort of.
Club did a good. I think it's like when somebody said like they did their homework. Club did their homework. Right? He created a bunch of players, and the squad were like they were like ready to go. And then Slot just came like maybe just give them positivity, like, hey, believe in yourself. You can do this, and then they took off. So, there was no pressure on them compared to us, where Ateta was overthinking things. And he's a rookie, he's learning. So, but congrats to Liverpool.
5 seasons in, I don't think that's gonna fly anymore, man. He's no longer as weird. Like, look, bro, he needs to win.
Yeah,
He needs to win. And players, especially Saka is generational. We're seeing guys now that, man, this is his time because guys like Dembele, Yamal, these guys, I don't know, like you see the way these guys are moving. You see what they're doing with their teams.
But take Dembele for example. Like people thought he was washed up, right? He was washed up, but like look at him right now. To me, I'm confident that this season, and not let me say, we need to get that player that takes the pressure off Saka, right, and allow Saka to cook. So to me, I feel like if we get, like, say for example, we get Gyökeres or Sesko, who that's what we're going to look to score, then Saka can cook. Because to me, I put him, and people might disagree, I put him on that generational path with the young who are his peers, because Yamal are not his peers. Maybe like it's like is it
Mbappe?
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, so
Vinicius, Mbappe.
Those players, he can do this stuff, but he needs help. He can't be carrying it. Like Chuk said, Odegaard was a disappointment. Martinelli, disappointment. To me, even Trossard.
They all failed the guy.
Yeah.
And the worst point,
even Trossard to me.
Why did it happen to someone else? Because this season, Liverpool's season, is really, really just a Salah documentary. If Salah doesn't do what he did that first half, this is no slight on Slot or anything. No, Pius, there was no big tactics involved. It was just Salah getting you goals or assists. I think he did it for like how many straight games? That's a guy that wanted to win the league. And remember when it was him and Saka, where they were doing that thing, I think it was 9 games in, they were the only players that had every game, they had one GA. Then Saka gets that first injury, and then he gets an injury. But the annoying thing is, even with all that, we're almost really close to chasing a man that, in my opinion, right? I mean, obviously, Sam Davis is older than me, so he saw Henry in his prime. I wasn't fortunate enough to see Henry, so I never really saw the 2020. But I personally was rooting for Salah to get that 30-20 because, my goodness, he was he was so scary this season.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then like, you people's real team started showing after Salah slowed down. Like let's say Salah got injured, and you now had to depend on the Nunes or Diaz. You know, all these guys that literally just follow his shine. It will be different. But
Yeah.
at one team, we had our main guy go down, and we were still close. And the owners looked at this squad
No,
and said, "No,
no.
let's not go get a Rashford on. Let's you don't want to spend money. Allow
Yeah.
Rashford to go to Villa. I don't know if it's I just remember what Rashford was doing that PSG second
Oh
leg.
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
was
it was
Unai,
cooking.
fire.
foolish guy, stopped him off. Martinelli will clear his ACL, MCL, thigh, quad,
All,
his the whole knee will go away if he even attempts half of that.
yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, with our club, I don't know. You want to
That's
have hope, but it's like they're just guys that are not they are not ready. Like
Yeah,
I don't need to see another season to know. If we pull
yeah,
up that same lineup next year, maybe you throw in who's the guy who signs to be Mendy. That attacking front is the
Hmm.
same. It's the same guys.
Yeah, to me that's where I always say what Arsenal is lacking is a player like Alexis Sanchez, right? Who we put him there, something's going to happen. We don't have that player. Okay, Saka to me, yes, he's that player, but we need that player who is going to make things happen. We don't have that beating heart. Like
okay.
all the other players, we try and try, but like get someone who like really, really, when you see,
My
like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
thing is, you guys need to win something. I
No, we
like
have
It's coming.
So
It's coming. Don't
you
worry.
guys need
it's
to win
coming.
with this group. You
Yeah,
guys need to
Yeah.
win something.
Adams,
I,
Adams,
I think
Adams. Trust me. The the end is rather near because if we don't win
yes.
anything and then the man goes, I really want to see because my own thing is Ateta in or Ateta out is not even the question. If
Exactly.
the man goes, let's say you go get in a high prolific manager, maybe you go get in Carlo and Ancelotti. I want to see if the owners were not spending because the master talent ID is not good. Like me personally, I want to know why they're still penny pinching. So let's say next year, right? They tell him that we've given you money, use it to buy Calafiori and Moreno. We don't want to give you any more. So this season now you're only getting a striker, right? And he doesn't win. I want to really see is it the owners that are not ambitious, or maybe Ateta truly was just out of his depth? Like the best he can do is to get you to the point, like Brendan Rodgers, right? He's gonna
Yes.
get you to the point where you're just expecting things, and then you need to get somebody else. Because me personally, I want to know if they fire him today, I don't have a problem with that. Me, I just want to know: is it him that was the problem, or is it the owners?
Hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
see the owners, man. The owners, because I think they're very comfortable with where they are doing.
Get
Yeah, man. Because like you said, because if they had given Ateta an ultimatum, like okay, we're gonna give you $2, right? We want you to do this. But in the sense that they can kind of like just left him because like done such a good job to stabilize the
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
and like you
That's a
said,
good point.
And
yeah,
that's what's scary, Sound Dev, is
yeah,
this is looking like another Wenger situation where if he keeps finishing second,
they
they
will
might
do.
really never sack this guy. Oh.
Yeah, they'll never sack him. They'll never, because he's
And
doing
then
it like
when
you
it
said.
will not be
It's not
nasty. I remember the Wenger era. The
no.
whole fans are fighting each other. The guy is finishing fourth place and telling you that progress is not linear.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw just to finally close up the Arsenal chat before we
Ah,
final. I saw one of his quotes. I was telling my brother that I saw it where he said they were asking him about. I think so, I don't can't remember what the question was. He said he was anytime he thinks about next season, he's always having goosebumps.
I
Oh, I
saw
saw
it
I'm
that.
like
too.
wow. I'm like wow. This
I
It's
guy
saw
is
it. I
cooking
saw it
something
too.
for next
just
season.
wait for you.
We
Wait,
can't
wait,
wait.
wait,
All right,
wait. I'm waiting
all
for
right, guys. Because of
those
time, let's
goosebumps. We'll give him cold water to get the
because of time, let's sort of move away from the Arsenal discourse. I'm sure Arsenal fans with that quote will be sort of anticipating and licking their lips towards next season. Okay, let's move the discourse now to the Champions League final we saw yesterday. Brilliant. We saw PSG decimate, destroy, annihilate Inter Milan in that Champions League final, 5 goals to nil. It was one of the most, for me, one of the most dominant displays in the Champions League final I've seen in a long time. Like you were just watching that game from minute 1 to minute 90. There was no point in that game where you thought Inter had a sniff, or like they were like okay they're controlling the game, or they're like it was a total. And another time about PSG is they play beautiful football.
oh
I
yeah.
was telling my brother I was like I wish my team could play like this, man. Just beautiful on the eyes, attack quickly. They
Yeah,
play through
greed,
the, and one thing about they, as in
greed.
they play through the
Liverpool,
lines.
Liverpool. Yeah, I say you wish your team go. So the way you play is not enough for you.
No, I just want a bit of sprinkle or just add one or two things, because the way PSG, like the way they play through the lines, like
Oh
they
my,
don't do not too much of side, but just
no,
move front, move. Oh my goodness, beautiful.
Yeah,
Luis Enrique,
those
man.
those
But let's
midfielders, man.
but to be honest, let's be honest. Outside of Villa and Inter Milan, Liverpool and Arsenal really had them somewhat caged for most part of the games. Like that game yesterday was such a waste of my afternoon
oh,
because the Marco, man, I don't think it was him that showed up. It's not him that wore
Yeah,
oh,
that jersey. Like I remember the Liverpool, I think it was the first leg. Those I'm not a big Desiree Due fan. I think he's a fantastic player, but the last few games took his stocks to unbelievable. Like they're comparing Boy to Neymar
I know.
just because of one final. Which yes, what is that they always say in football? Whoever you see in front of you is who you have to play.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yes,
Okay.
you can only
But
beat. You can only beat
perspective,
us in
man,
front of you.
like Inter Milan, if you were going to perform like, why not allow Barcelona to go and play there?
Please.
So those
it was such a
boys,
surprising
it
display
was
from
so
them.
But so I saw some people
disgusting.
are arguing that Inter Milan deserve to be there. That's why
I
they're
mean,
there.
yeah, no problem. But why are you playing like you don't deserve to be there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like you got there and you just made the final too easy. I don't know if you saw that Bakola missed chance. How are they dropping man like that in his own 18?
you saw that,
yeah.
that game, man. Oh my, that
It
goal,
was,
man.
it
He
It
was
could have
sold
been
him.
7. That's the crazy part. It could have
and,
been
Man,
and, and
7.
Yes, he sold him like goodbye, and then he's like, hey, wow.
it was such a weird like, and one thing for me, I don't know about you guys, for me, like Inter, like over the last maybe 2-3 seasons, but I think because I still remember when we played them as Liverpool maybe some 2 seasons ago. Very like the thing about them is very difficult to break
defensively,
down, difficult to score against.
Yeah,
Like
defensively, they are so good.
so good. So this
But
was a surprising performance yesterday. Just
It might just be because, like, now, before, like 2 seasons ago, last season, it felt like football was a bit cagey. Like nobody really cared to take risks that much.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of people were cautious. But this season, we've seen a lot more dynamism in terms of like players willing to be
yeah.
risky and that the way we used to like wingers
And
play. Yeah,
yeah, and for me, fair play to PSG and Barcelona this season's Champions League. I
yeah.
think they sort of
yeah.
entertained us a
Oh
way they
yeah,
play.
Yeah, it's been a while we saw like
yeah,
Yeah,
football, like free flowing, throw
yeah,
caution to the wind, all out attack.
that,
Most times since last season, it's always been possession based. You
yeah.
have to
yeah.
play this way, you have to do this way, positional
Yeah,
play. But now,
Yes.
man, people are like, yo,
I
and
think,
PSG and Barcelona went back to that.
but
yeah,
the thing about that star, right, that me personally I don't like is on his days is beautiful, right?
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
And
thing.
what really helped PSG too is it's not even the fact that they play that flow of football, is they have a demon in goal. A guy that can literally
That guy.
lock you out and you are not going to go in. I don't think their defenders
Yeah,
are all that.
yeah,
Barca don't really have that because I mean Chesney, is way past his prime. Some of the
Yes,
goals that he even that in Inter Milan game, some of the goals that he leaked in, their defending was not all that good. That style is nice, back foot, back and forth, back and forth. But Inter Milan, man, like I don't know. The one thing about that style that is very nice to see is once they find the wing that they can exploit, they try to do it against us too when they were toasting Timber a little bit.
yeah,
And when he started locking up the moves, the dual literally switch wings.
yeah.
That's the good thing I like about that style of football is when they find the wing that has the suspect, they are
So
going to send everybody to that wing.
I,
So
I, don't, I don't know if you
the
guys,
Hey,
I don't know if you guys noticed yesterday, when the kickoff, when PSG kickoff, the first thing they did was kick the ball in the other half because they
yeah,
were saying that we're going to play on your half. I
yeah.
don't.
yeah,
It was weird. Like why they intentionally kicked it there,
nah,
right?
those,
yeah,
those boys were ready.
They
And
were
that's
ready,
what
man.
happened.
They were
They
ready.
were ready. Inter Milan did not prepare. They thought it was going to be that back and forth. Let me see, size you up. Oh
Yeah,
man, and they cut
yeah,
them off guard.
yeah.
because
The,
And
the,
oh yes,
the Marco
oh
was
my here we need to bring back Uzo. Lautaro Martinez.
Oh yes,
I
yes.
know,
That's what
I know
Martinez.
you haven't forgotten.
No. Pius.
Lautaro
They made us
Martinez.
a laughing stock. But no, he is actually a good player. I
Hey
would.
man,
Yeah.
I saw a
Yeah,
tweet that sums up Lautaro. I don't know if you saw it, Pius. Where they were like, whenever I don't watch Lautaro Martinez, he seems to be the best striker.
Yeah.
Whenever you watch him,
But
that's
every time I've turned on my TV to actually watch Lautaro Martinez, I didn't understand what I was seeing. Even Turam, I'm like, where these guys? Everyone was telling me these guys are really good. They can
you know,
really.
I think it's hard to single out players in this type of defeats. It's more like a collective effort
Steve,
from the
yeah,
team.
yeah.
Like
We-
yeah,
it's like I don't know, man. It's a
what?
weird one to analyze. Like
it is.
you probably have to go and watch the game again and see, like, because a final, nobody expects that from a final. And
Right?
and,
Yeah,
and credit to PSG because a final, you first 15 minutes, you try
Yes.
to be cautious.
Yes.
You be cagey, you won't try to make mistakes, keep it simple.
Yeah.
But bro, they didn't care about all of that,
Yeah.
man. They
yeah.
didn't
And,
care.
and that's one thing that we have to credit like Luis Enrique was like sort of he just took the initiative. Like he
Yeah.
always like his team is just like when you smell blood,
Go
just
for
go
it.
for the kill. They
Yeah.
don't have no time to waste and
They,
fair play to him.
and to not make an excuse for Turam, right? PSG knew that Turam was going to be, so they were double teaming him. The minute he got the ball, they would
Yeah.
double team kick him because they knew they didn't want him to settle. And
Yeah.
I don't think Inter Milan settled in that game. They did not settle. They
They
did
didn't
not
settle.
settle. Yeah, after that
Yeah.
first goal, yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
they couldn't settle. And another thing I want to say about PSG, people make fun like, oh, the stars are gone, Mbappe are gone. To me, I want to give credit to the owners. Right? To me, it shows true initiative because I don't want to say it was for Arsenal. If it was any other club, like, oh, imagine they got what 4 or 3 of the best players in the world, Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar, right? And they couldn't win it, but they kept on going and kept on spending the money because, like, and to me, I always say that Chelsea is a good example of when you throw money at it, it will fix it. I know people will laugh and they make fun, but it
Yeah.
works. You throw money at it to fix it. It will take you time, but it will fix it. And
Yeah.
those people have shown in PSG, like how much did they spend on Mbappe and Neymar and Messi? But they didn't give up. And now, nobody thinks about the money they spent anymore. Now everybody's about,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a
So, like,
beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful
man.
But they
team
got
that
a
plays
lot
good
of
football.
stick when it didn't work.
What did you
Like,
work? Yeah, but
everybody came for them. I'm sure.
And the thing about it is that football is such a what's the word now? Such an unpredictable and cruel sport.
oh yeah,
Unpredictable in the sense that you saw how with this new format that we started with this season, you saw how PSG struggled to even qualify for the latter stages. I think they were like
Yeah,
20th out
They,
of
they,
20,
they had to
or
play
like
the playoffs, I think, with Man City to get
yeah,
in.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
each
Definitely,
out
yeah,
of like 32 teams, they were like 20th, barely stayed in the top 24
Yeah.
mix. And then you saw them against it's just all of a sudden a game against Man City, and they just from there
Arsenal beat
became
them during the
unstoppable.
group stages. Arsenal beat
Yeah,
them.
they
Yeah.
beat them too.
nobody. And then you're looking at the league table at that time. You're seeing Liverpool, Barcelona, maybe Inter Milan, and one
Arsenal.
other team,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Bayern
Arsenal.
Munich.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bayern Munich. Yeah,
finishing in the, and you're like,
yeah,
wow. And
yeah.
then the cruel thing about it is Inter Milan ended the season without a trophy.
Without anything. Without
A
anything.
team that we're looking at 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, it looked like they were on for a
Treble.
treble,
Yeah,
and then lost the Italian Cup semi-final to maybe AC Milan,
Yeah.
lost the league to Napoli on the final day,
yeah. On the final day,
maybe by a point, and then lost this. Wow,
My question
football
is,
is it?
where do they go from this though? Do they blow it
It's
up? Do they fire the manager after this type of
no.
performance?
I think they told him he's gonna. They want him to stay. They want him to stay. So he's staying.
yeah,
And to me, like in any situation as in management, you don't panic in things like this, right? Because like
yeah.
you can't fault Inter Milan in a
It's
sense.
fine margins,
It's
yeah,
fine margins, right? So like if
Five
you
yeah.
zero in finals.
yeah,
That's far. That one.
No, no,
That
no.
pass.
it's the Chelsea model. Chelsea, you hate them or like them, but they don't play around. Oh, this doesn't work. Go away. You spend more money on that, and it is fine, but it works for them. But like in some other clubs,
Yeah, they don't have that money to spend.
They don't.
If you go through that lineup, a lot of old
Old
players.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have
Yeah.
the money to spend.
Imagine the guy who scored the winning goal against Barcelona was he what 34 years old? That guy is about to retire now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
experience is there, but they don't have the money. So like as all Italians club will do is that to grind, and then they will be there again. But this was my goodness. But I was happy though because I always hate Champions League final where it was always back and forth, spine margins. It was boring. Like Even the last Man City Champions League final, that was a
Yeah.
boring game for me, you know. But this, hey man, it was like
Yeah,
You
no
enjoy
no final
the
is
PSG
in this,
beauty
man.
football, yeah.
No
yeah,
final
You know,
is in this.
but there's some people will be there are some people on the other side that said, oh, they didn't enjoy this final because it was too one-sided.
oh,
But everybody has their own,
yes,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
where it pinches them. Okay, guys, as we sort of wind down the show, I just want to get your take on another topic, another subject now that is going to take the forefront. That now the season is over, the discussion of who goes on with the Ballon d'Or this season, right?
oh, wow.
So,
Mm.
Salon Dave and Adams, I just want to get the names from you that you think this is my guy for the Ballon d'Or this season. Salon Dave as a guest, let me start with you. Who is that person? I
To
can see
me,
you're
yeah,
thinking about it.
I know. But to me, I'll put Dembele and I'll put Dembele. Is it Kvaratskhelia?
Yeah.
The guy
Kvaratskhelia?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kvaratskhelia. I'll put Dembele and Kvaratskhelia because he's had a solid season in the PSG. You know,
Yeah.
I'll put those two in the hat for that. You know,
Adams, any
oh no, let me take that back. Dembele and Salah. Yes, Dembele and
Dembele and Salah.
Mo
Yeah.
Salah.
Okay.
I've got to give my African brother because, like Chuk said, sometimes he was just unplayable. He's like
Yeah.
you see Salah play, and then Liverpool are doing nonsense, and then all of a sudden Salah comes along, and then
Well,
And
Salah
just
himself
bangs
is doing nonsense, and all of a
yes,
sudden
yes,
he
and he
just
just bangs the goal. And you're like, wow, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. No,
Dembele and Salah,
Decisive goal.
Dembele and Salah, and
Salah for
Dembele and
you.
Salah.
Adams, any contrary view? Any
I'll throw in Yamal. That's like I said, like this season has just been excitement,
Yeah,
yeah.
excitement from the wingers, and it's a throwback to what we know from like 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons ago. And
yeah,
about football is or sports in general is like once there's a trend, everybody wants to follow along, right? Remember when it was positional play, a lot of emphasis on the number 6, when the number 6 position became as if
Mhm.
we've never seen sixes before. Number 6, everybody was raving about the next number 6. Rodri this, Rodri that, this and that, this and that. Now you expect that the next couple of seasons or this summer, people be raving about wingers. Wingers
Yes,
that can play this way, that can play. So a lot of credit must go to those guys.
Mhm. Yeah,
To Yamal, Dembele, and Salah. I
Salah,
think any one of those three that wins, I'm not mad at any of.
them?
that is
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that is true.
That's sort of fair enough. And then finally, just I'm looking at the Champions League team of the season. Only one Premier League player made that the Champions League team of the season. Declan Rice.
Oof.
Fair.
Declan Rice.
Yeah,
Fair.
that Madrid performance will feed,
Yeah.
bro. That's
Yeah,
the type of performance where you say, do you remember that night? Do you
yeah,
remember? That's the type of you say, do you remember? There are just some performances like that you go, do you just had to be there. It was an
yeah.
incredible performance, man.
I do agree. I do.
And that's the thing. I go back to mentality and like, bro, you don't win like that and not win it all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that, man. I don't care who is injured. I don't care who has a red card, bro. That performance lifts everybody up, and it changes the course of the season and the course of the history
Yeah.
of a team entirely.
That is true. Yeah, that's hard to explain. I don't agree. It's hard to because like that was like okay. That's what I'm saying. Like it gave us a chance. Like so if we were prepared, but we were found out we were not prepared. Man. You know, we were not.
Yeah.
If we were prepared, that was our rocket fuel. That was our
Yeah.
injection pack to like get it going. But we
Yeah.
went being defensive again and cautious and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Okay. And just finally, as we sort of before we sort of move into the final segment of the show, which will be like a brief quiz section. Salon Dave, I'm going to be and Adams, I'll be testing your Champions League knowledge.
Oh
Very
my
hard
goodness.
questions.
Come
Okay.
on, man. Don't do that.
But
Don't do
be-
that to him, man. Don't do that.
Exactly.
okay, fine. We'll just sort of. It's not going to be that serious. No worries. Okay. I just wanted to touch on something quickly. So the season is over now. It was a sort of like a memorable season for a lot of people. Myself as a Liverpool fan, it's nice to win the Premier
Bro,
League,
we're
of
tired of
course.
hearing that. You guys have won it. It's okay.
Sorry, we just it's part of what happened this season. We just have to mention it. And then I was also sort of happy, delighted for the likes of Crystal Palace,
Yeah.
Newcastle, which other team,
Tottenham.
Tottenham,
Yeah.
teams that that they've not won in a long time. As in, I just
PSG.
and something that the PSG as well winning their first
Yeah.
Champions League. If
Mhm.
you want to go out, if you want to go to some other leagues in Europe, I think there's a team in Netherlands called Go Ahead Eagles, won the maybe Dutch Cup.
Yeah.
In Italy, Bologna won the Italian Cup. I think there's one other team, but yeah. So we just saw it a season of it first, and
Yeah.
then and the thing about it, that the thing about football is that it just captures that sort of raw emotion. I stayed up late. I think was it the time Tottenham won the Champions League. I stayed up late watching a lot of Tottenham videos, seeing fans crying, people saying that even if they don't win anything again for another 20 years, they don't care. It was such a, like, I was so happy for them. So yeah, football sort of brings that sort of emotion in them. So fair play to them, and and then yeah, it was a wonderful season in that aspect.
Yeah, it was. It
So
was
yeah,
eventful, quite eventful season.
quite
Yeah, like
eventful season. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, so looking forward to next season to bring us more drama. Okay, and then another bit I wanted to just quickly get your views on, guys, is there's been talk, even though a bit quiet, about the number of games the modern footballers have to play these days. There's a lot of discourse around, oh, players are playing so many games right now. I think there's a FIFA Club World Cup in some few weeks' time as well. I just
Mhm.
want to get your thoughts, guys, quickly. Salone, Dave, and Adams, do you think the number of games is too much for these teams, or they are just crybabies and they should just get on with it?
My point of view is there's a lot of money to be made in football, right?
Yeah.
And FIFA and the people powers that be, they want to feed that urge for football. And it's interesting, like I think FIFA and the governing bodies are trying to like tap into like a new fan base because they don't cut us anymore. We are soaked in. Like and now if you see, nowadays if you go on YouTube, you see like is it speed or
Yeah, those
like
guys.
they try to capture the young generation. So like that demand for more content is gonna be there. And so therefore like those games are gonna happen. And do I feel like they're paying too much football? Actually, no. They're not, because
you don't.
no, and it's not because they're paying them thousands of dollars. No, because I think they can really accommodate, and they can really teams can really accommodate themselves and then really produce or meet those demands. Because the simple things like you can have bigger squads, right? Even though some managers don't like to manage big squads, like Ateta, for example, you can see doesn't like, but you can get a bigger squad and then you can participate in all this competition because it increases the chance of you winning more cups, and also like, I hate to say this, but it brings in more money because
More
if you don't
money,
get
yeah.
that money, it's gonna go somewhere else, maybe to another sport. So yeah, to me,
Yeah,
more games, more content, and then more new fan base.
yeah. Adam, before I sort of get your view, like I was like Liverpool now. We know Trent has left our football club, and then you're seeing we saw what happened. Real Madrid were paying. We're happy to pay Liverpool 10 million pounds.
Uh-huh.
Even though everybody knows they could have just waited till 1st of July and gotten Trent for free, but because of they said they want him for the Club World Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And some people were discussing to say the winner of the Club World Cup is going to walk away with 100 million pounds or something like that. So
yeah,
there's huge money there. So they're like, wow,
yeah,
people are taking that Club World Cup seriously. So I think Chelsea is also there. I think they're also sort of
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
they'll be looking to take it seriously. So,
yeah.
but Adams, to the question on that I asked around the modern players, are they playing too many games or they're just
I
crybabies?
I think so. I think they're playing too many games. And of course, and we know that there's been advancement in like sports science and all those things. It's not
Yeah,
like the way it used to be, where
yeah,
now players recover from ACL injury like it's nothing.
yeah,
Back in the day, if you get type of injury, it might be career ending, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
But I still think that some of the quality of football that we're seeing is that I mean, we talk about Champions League final being great, but if you look back 3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago, we've seen a lot of terrible football, and that's just because there's just a lot of games. There's a lot of games, and the thing about squad being bigger, I don't think it's really gonna help because there's still things at stake. Like you're still trying to win. You're still trying to win, and you're not gonna trust the 14th man in your squad to play. You know, an extra Champions League game because this season I think Champions League expanded, right?
yeah, yeah,
So that's not gonna happen. You're still gonna play Saka for those games. You're still gonna play now Trent is going to the Club World Cup. If they didn't need his quality, they would have used a youth team player, to play that type of competition. So I feel like yes, whilst the demand is there, we still have to be very reasonable in protecting those guys, in protecting some of those guys, and it's important that there's balance. We just can't keep adding competitions in. And in the Club World Cup, for example, it's like I get that, you have to tap into these other markets, but is it really necessary? Is it really necessary? And the competition, is it going to mean that much? Is it going to mean that much? Because the reasons why we respect Champions League is because of history. Like we look back and we see, oh, Liverpool did this, Madrid did this. But this competition, 5 years down the line, 6 days, I don't think we'll care. We'll care if a team has five um, club World Cups. Would we care? Personally, I mean, it's nice to have, but it's not going to be as big as Champions League or as the league. So it's like there are other ways that they can exploit, this, and we see maybe even moving some games to some of those markets. I think they do it in NBA, they do it in American football as well, where some of those regular season games they take it to Europe. They play some games in England. They play some games in France. You could try things like that, Then and they do it in Saudi, in Spain, where they play some of these their cups in Saudi just to get that involvement. Maybe you could try that, but it's just getting ridiculous. World Cup now. I mean, how many teams are going to play the World Cup? I think is
Yeah,
like
that's yeah,
But,
48
but
teams. I think they're expanding to
Adams,
48
I
teams.
want to challenge you with this, right? Like the game has gotten bigger, right? More people want to play now, right? And we
Yes.
know that the pipeline to these clubs is always been stemmed because, like, say, out of 20 academy players who try to get into the first team, because there's a limited amount of players they want, only one or two happens to get there. So, like,
Hmm.
where I'm coming from with that, with more competitions to play in, it kind of
They
increases
get
the
this
pipeline a
chance
little
of
bit more, so that because like people want to play the game right now, and
yeah,
we've
yeah.
seen stories
yeah,
of where
people,
people,
yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
fall to the waste, and then
That's a
so
good
like
point.
that's a good thing because it allows you to bring more people into the game, more
Yeah.
chances for people to get, because we've seen a lot of talented players go on the wayside because of some managers cannot manage multiple
Yeah.
personalities. And then also, if you look at it again, if you look at I would stay in England, all the major teams in England that have won the Premiership League, they've done so with bigger squads. Arsenal were the only one with stingy one small squad. Chelsea, big squad. Man City, big squad.
Big squad.
Liverpool, big squad.
Big squad.
And rightfully so. Whilst you cannot say a 14-year will come in for what you call it now, a pro, but within those pros, when you have a bigger squad, say for example, when Salah goes down, like when Salah was having a bad, not a bad, had a dip in his form, Gravenberch and Soboslai stepped up big time. Arsenal, we were, skinny jeans, Saka went down, we didn't do anything. So I do understand where you're coming from health wise, but I just feel like FIFA has seen the money, they smelled money, and they
It's all
said,
about the money, man. It's all
oh,
about
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's all about the
Yeah,
money.
It's all about
I
it.
think on this debate, I think I'll sort of lean towards more with Salon Dave. I think the club should just sort of get on with it. You have a big squad, and that's the price of being a successful team, right? The more you go into the further you go into those competitions,
Yeah.
FA Cup, Champions League, the more games you get. Like Liverpool fans, like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, we've been saying, oh, quadruple. There's a chance to win the quadruple. If you want to win a quadruple, you have to play more games. That's just how it is. And I was seeing
But
somewhere
just
that
don't be sad when every season your top player is getting injured.
So,
Don't
But
be.
but I saw one start somewhere that said I think Manchester City, I think the last season 23-24 season, I think they played the most games. I'm not sure, maybe 50 games or so. And the main start there is that only 3 players in their squad started all those
Yeah,
50
yeah. If
games.
if if they can enforce that, like a rule like that, like okay, because we're talking about is going to increase chances. I don't really agree with that because at the end of the day, we still see most of the same players. But if you can force it into a way where, okay, you have to rotate your squad when you are playing this competition,
yeah.
like
I don't
maybe
think you
bring
can
in,
do that, but
I don't know, like maybe, no, no, if it's uniform, maybe bring
Yeah.
in 5 youth team players must play FA Cup, must start
Oh,
the FA
okay.
Cup game,
Yeah.
something like that. Say,
Okay.
okay, Carabao Cup, at least 5 under 20 people. I don't know, whatever it is. Get creative and mix it up like that. That's
Yeah.
the yeah.
all
It's
right.
funny Adams is against that because his club Chelsea have won with big squad. All the success. They've
Now
never had
we
tiny squad. Oh. It's always and it's successful. It works for them. So,
Yeah,
so
it
Yeah.
works. It
Uh,
works.
and then
And
and
I know, like we won't have any problem like
oh no,
rotating our
it works for them.
players. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
And
And
we
then there's always
usually
that
did it. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go on,
Sorry.
Adams.
I said we literally did it with the conference league. We had a team A and a team B.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So if it's Chelsea, yeah, we won't have a problem with that.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
overwhelming teams, man.
Anyways, it's a debate that goes on. Let's
Oh
see
yeah.
what the administrators of football will sort of do with that. Yeah, so let's see what happens. Okay, guys. Yeah, finally, this is where we sort of quickly do the quiz section as we sort of could have end the show. Yeah, I think the way I think so Adams and Salone, I think you guys can just team up. I'll just ask a question and then you guys
Okay,
can
yeah,
work together to
exactly.
just get the answer. Let's not sort of make it individuals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the questions are sort of Champions League themed because this was the Champions League final. So the first question here is can you name the team that won the 2004 Champions League?
Oh, that's easy. That's Porto.
Porto, that's correct. Yeah,
Oh
Adams.
yeah,
Porto, yeah.
that was
Jose
a good.
Mourinho's
Yeah, that
Porto.
there's no way I'm not knowing that. That's Jose, man. That's
Oh,
my
that was
man.
Jose
master.
Mourinho's Porto
Yeah,
in
yeah.
2004. They
That was,
beat
that was a
Monaco
good.
3-0.
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah.
That was a good. That was a good. That was a good team. That was a good
Yeah.
team.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah.
I did buy you at Monaco. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's true.
That's true. Fair play. So the next question then is, can you name the first British team to win the Champions League or the European Cup as it was known then?
I don't think I have an idea
I
what
think
that is.
that's Nottingham Forest.
That's wrong.
That's
Is
wrong.
that-
Hold
Is
on.
it Liverpool?
Aston Villa.
It's not Liverpool.
Aston
Let me.
Villa.
No, it's not Aston Villa. I'll give you two more tries and I'll give you the
Ooh.
answer.
Can you give us a clue?
Are they
Like,
in the Premier League?
no, they're not even a Premier League team. British team. It's a
Oh, you
Scottish
said
team.
British.
Oh,
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, so it can be
British, sorry.
Celtic or Aberdeen or something.
It's Celtic.
Yeah. Oh,
But
British.
when you
Celtic.
said British, man, my mind didn't even go.
Yeah.
I know you guys are going.
I thought you said English team. I didn't even
No,
think of that.
British.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
British.
crazy. Celtic.
Ah,
Celtic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. When?
1967. They
wow.
defeated Inter Milan in 1967.
There's no chance I could have known that.
Yeah, man. That was like brutal football back then, man.
Okay. This one should be easy. This season's Champions League highest goal scorer. Who is it?
Mm.
I'll just give you two tries, guys.
Highest goal scorer.
This season's
Let
Champions
me
League.
see. Who is probably is it Lewandowski?
I think Lewandowski is in second or third place. I think he's in second place.
Really?
Man.
I think
Right.
Lewandowski is joined second with somebody.
Rafinha?
That means it's
No,
not
no,
Rafinha.
it's not Rafinha. No.
What? Champions League.
He's an African.
Really?
Oh.
The Guinean.
Oh,
Yes,
is it that
the
that
Ghanaian
guy?
guy, the Ghanaian guy in
guy.
Dortmund.
Guy, yeah.
Sergio
Guirassy.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Sergio
that.
Guirassy.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's surprising. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, yeah.
Like top hat
And
trick.
I think there was an argument today, like a lot of some African fans, maybe Guinean fans as well, when they released the Champions League team of the season, they were like, our boy scored, he was the highest goal scorer and he's not in the team of the season.
Please,
Oh, yeah.
please.
You're not buying that, Adams.
They probably
Okay,
buy that flag too.
Okay. I have two more questions here, but
Okay.
they are very tough. Okay.
Well, you need to have some faith in us, man. What do you mean they are very tough?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. We're combining.
Okay.
It's a London connection.
Yeah. Okay. Can you guys give me the first? This one to make it very easy.
No.
Yesterday we saw the first Ecuadorian to win the Champions League. Who was that?
Ecuadorian.
Yes, the first Ecuadorian to win the Champions League.
He's in the midfield for PSG. I forgot his name.
No, in the
Face
midfield.
Ecuadorian. They had an Ecuadorian in their team.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Is it that young
It's a
defender?
defender. It's a
That young
defender.
defender.
Yes.
He's from Ecuador.
Yes.
I thought he was
Yes.
French.
Who
No,
did
it's
that
Ecuador.
black dude?
Yeah, I thought he was
William
French.
Pacho. William
Pacho, I thought he was
Yeah.
French, man.
Really?
I didn't
No,
know.
he's Ecuadorian.
He was Ecuadorian.
I
Pacho.
thought he
Yeah.
was French. That's incredible.
He's the first Ecuadorian to win the Champions League.
Wow. That's
Okay.
Good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
deep knowledge right there.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And this one is which city hosted the first Champions League final? Oof, this one will be very hard.
The first
Yeah.
ever Champions League. Come on, bro.
That's very hard.
Let me take a guess. Real
Take a
Madrid.
guess. You were close. Real Madrid. Bernabeu was the second city.
Wow.
They came after the City. Okay, so to make it easy, the current Champions League holders,
Oh, Paris,
Paris.
Paris.
Yeah,
crazy.
Ah,
Paris.
well.
Paris, where did you get these questions from?
Oh man. Man, the Champions
All
League.
right, guys. Yes, yes. All right, guys. Well done, well done. You guys did well. Well done,
I
well
think
done,
we did
well
okay.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we did
P, I
well.
have a question for you. Do you think Liverpool repeats the same thing next year? Win the
No, if I'm to go early, I do my predictions. I think Arsenal will win the Premier League next
Lagos. You
season.
guys leave Arsenal alone.
I predicted Arsenal this season, but next season I think
Chelsea,
mentally the order will just be
Chelsea.
no Chelsea.
Come on, come
Yeah, Chelsea.
on.
Nah,
You know, we have to win something, and like yeah,
Yeah.
we have to win something. And to me,
you
I'm
guys
just
didn't do it.
pick a competition and pick one and just stick there. Don't try to be greedy and like, oh, let's go for
Yeah.
the UEFA, I mean the Champions League and EPL. Pick the EPL and then let's calm down on people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Uh,
the way Chelsea
okay.
can win Champions League, European Cup is just man, they've cleaned the whole thing from top to bottom. Like you can
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, guys. So yeah, this is where we sort of have to bring the show to an end. It's been a wonderful show, brilliant show. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Let me start by saying thank you, Salone Day, for joining us, taking time out to join us. Brilliant, brilliant. Always nice having you. Nice getting your Arsenal perspective on things. Really interesting. Hopefully, for your sake, Arsenal finally does the goose next season
I know, and then I
and
can come on
delivers
the
the
show.
big trophies.
Exactly. I'll get a replica cup. I come to the show.
Nice one. That would be nice to
That'll
have
be
you
nice,
on.
right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
man.
Yeah, the Adams boss, thanks again as usual, for sort of arranging this. Congrats again, your team Chelsea, Conference League winners.
Thank you.
Ended
Thank you.
this ended this season ending the season with a
Oh,
smile. And let me say I'm a huge fan of what's his name now? Caicedo, man. Great guy, great
oh,
player.
so yeah,
Right, great player, man. I think
Yeah, stepped
Chelsea,
up. Yeah.
yeah, and looking at the Chelsea team, a young team that I think, yeah, it looks like they'll start coming into their own very soon. So
yeah,
yeah, Adams, but the future looks very bright for Chelsea. We'll see how it goes in terms of the
See.
transfer market and what happens, and then yeah, we'll,
yeah.
we'll we'll sort of be looking forward to the predictions and what your expectations are for next season. So, guys, thank you very much. Yeah. Shout out to my darling, the Super Eagles, man, winning a
Yes.
friendly cup, winning a friendly cup, beating our rivals, our West African brothers, our Jollof brothers,
So Ghana,
Ghana. It's always nice. I'm sorry, getting Ghanaians watch. It's always nice to get one over you guys. So yeah, fair play in a friendly cup that a lot of Nigerians are like, come on, find some shame. Why are you celebrating a friendly cup? But yeah, it was nice. It was nice vibes. I like the
How
sort
about
of
the Jamaicans? I don't think was that our first meeting with the reggae boys. I don't think we've played them a lot.
I think
yeah.
so.
I think the last time we played them was in this same Unity Cup in 2005. I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
Okay.
ended 0-0, 0-0 draw. So I think yeah. So fair play to them as well. I sort
yeah.
of kudos to the organizers of that Unity
I
Cup
know.
tournament.
Yeah,
It was sort of nice, especially as in I like the way they like London where there's the Afro Caribbean.
I
yeah.
think we need to be playing more of our Caribbean brothers though. Like I don't see
Exactly.
why there's no competition where that
Yeah,
brings us more together. And I was I was
exactly.
I was joking about it. Like maybe we even do like an invitation every AFCON, and
Yeah.
we bring
One right.
one of those
Yeah.
teams in.
Teams
Yeah.
in, yeah,
I mean, we're expanding, aren't we? We're
yeah,
expanding
exactly. That
football,
would be
right?
nice. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be
So
nice.
That'd
That
be
would be
nice.
nice.
Yeah, I do agree with that. That's a good idea, Adam. Because yeah, and this I hope it grows. I hope that competition grows because
Grows,
it's really
yeah.
good for the Afro Caribbean. Yes,
And
it's good.
culture, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I've seen some other African nations are like, oh, invite us, come on, we want to
exactly.
be involved.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
So fair play to them, and
yeah,
yeah, well done to them.
yeah.
All right, guys. So yeah, we will bring the show to an end. It's been brilliant. Thanks so guys. Thanks for the comments. We see your comments. We see your reactions. Please keep them coming. Arsenal fans, if you disagree with Salon Dev's viewpoint, if you think Ateta needs to go, if you think Salon Dev is too involved, he likes Ateta a lot. Hit him where he's at. Tell him why you disagree with him, and yeah, let's sort of feed off your thoughts on that. So guys, thank you very much. Do the needful, and then we'll see
Thank
you in
you.
the next one. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks,
Cheers,
Adam. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Pete.
cheers, Salon Dev.